His Excellency G. Balasubramanian, IFS, High Commissioner of India for Nigeria. We warmly welcome you, sir, this morning. Can we just give a great round of applause, please? A warm welcome, sir.
அபூஜாலிருந்து உங்க அனைவருக்கும் வாழ்த்து சொல்றதுல எனக்கு ரொம்ப மகிழ்ச்சி. I am G. Balasubramanian, உங்களுடைய High Commissioner in Abuja, Nigeria. Mr. Abid Junaid, Dr. Sampath, இந்த வாய்ப்பளித்ததுக்கு ரொம்பவும் நன்றி. The chair of this particular session, His Excellency Datuk Saravanan, Member of Parliament of Malaysia. My co-panelists who have spoken brilliantly just before me, Dr. R. Sitaraman and Dr. Dasaratha Shetty. I am privileged to join you as part of this panel. My speakers previous to me have spoken eloquently about various opportunities and challenges that exist. As the Indian High Commissioner to Nigeria, I would like to present here the opportunities between India and Nigeria. What exactly is there in Nigeria for us to look at and to see how we can use those opportunities to increase the trade and commercial relations between our two countries. Just to give an introduction, India and Nigeria, the relations are 66 years old. Actually, Nigeria got independence in 1960, and we had established diplomatic relations with Nigeria 2 years before their independence, identifying the potential that Nigeria has. Nigeria is the largest trading partner for India in Africa. They have the largest population and they have the largest GDP. Size-wise also they are comparable. India and Nigeria are natural partners. And we have been having a long tradition of cooperating with each other in the field of education, trade and commerce, political relations, people-to-people contact, so on and so forth. Just to give you an example, there are about 130 Indian companies which are established in Nigeria for the past about 4 decades. There are more than 60,000 Indian nationals and PIOs who are working here and have made Nigeria as their home. They are into manufacturing into various sectors, starting from oil and gas to plastics to pharmaceuticals to metallurgy to steel and so on and so forth. I would like to restrict my speech over here, given the time limit that we have of about 15 minutes, in the primary sectors that provide us the opportunity to deal with Nigeria in terms of trade and economic cooperation and investment opportunities. There are, I would be only touching upon a few of those sectors, and I'm sure that there are innumerable other things. And as the High Commissioner, as your High Commissioner here in Nigeria, my mission is to facilitate cooperation between India and Nigeria, and our High Commission would be very happy to receive any kind of queries from you and to see how we can further consolidate the relationship between our two countries, particularly in the terms of trade and economic cooperation. I would like to start it with agricultural cooperation. Nigeria has a large tract of land in the sense that it is about 1 million square kilometers, 1/3 of our country, with only 220 million population. In spite of that, there are nearly 54% of the arable land of Nigeria is fallow. There's a huge opportunity presently available over here. And they, in spite of the fact that they have a large quantity of large tract of land, they import. Their food security is not complete, and they still import a large number of products, including rice, cotton, sugarcane, wheat, and other products. Today, in the morning, our Prime Minister inaugurated an International Year of Millets conference in New Delhi, and there's a 17-member Nigerian team which has gone to India to participate in that conference. Millets is another opportunity. Nigeria is the 3rd largest producer of millets, but they only use it for subsistence. There are more than 500 startups in India in the millet area alone, which provide us a great opportunity to not only source millets from here, but also to introduce various products that have been made, the traditionally made products like pastas and noodles, which is a staple food over here. They can all be made from millets. That is just to show you the new opportunity that exists. Sugarcane is another area where Recently, in the Coimbatore Sugarcane Research Institute, a team from Nigeria had gone to identify the technology and to get the hybrid seeds and production facilities to set up ethanol factory as well as sugarcane plantation over here. Palm oil. It's again another area in which Nigeria, it's an indigenous product of Nigeria which can still be cultivated. BT cotton. Nigeria has recently approved BT cotton, and there are other seeds that can be done. So, seed technology, production facility, cold chain facility, agricultural areas. These are some of the things in which India and Nigeria can cooperate. We have huge capacities, and it would be possible for us to move along this direction to increase our cooperation with Nigeria. Pharmaceutical sector. We have nearly 60% of the pharmaceutical sector in Nigeria. We export close to about $600 million of pharma and drug products from India to Nigeria. Indian companies have already invested close to about $3 billion in manufacturing various pharmaceutical products over here. The government of India's concept of the Jan Aushadhi program, which is the generic medicine supply program, is a great opportunity, and we are working with the Nigerian government to try and see how we'll be able to cooperate in that. This is an area wherein Nigeria has got enough interest because of health security that is to be provided to the large number of citizens. We can go in for telemedicine. We have already started a project called as EVBAB, which means Vidya Bharati, which is the tele-education, and Arogya Bharati, which is the telemedicine. So we have already identified hospitals. I'm here in touch with the health ministry, and the minister himself has very clearly mentioned that they would invite more and more Indian hospitals and health sector groups to come and set up establishments over here to treat. That's a huge opportunity. India is the largest destination point for the medical tourism from Nigeria. So whether it is the diagnostic centers or hospitals or primary healthcare centers or the tertiary ones, there's a huge opportunity. They are willing to provide existing facilities for us to operate and go further. And coming ahead, while Nigeria is a big fertilizer producer, they import a huge number of pesticides and herbicides. Again, we have good potential in doing that. We can try and export herbicides and pesticides over here, or even try and do the compost over here and start doing things. Power sector is a major area. For a country of 220 million population, the installed capacity in Nigeria is only about 12,000 megawatts. And out of which only about 4,500 megawatts of transmission capacity is existing in this country. ECOWAS, which is the Economic Society of West African States, is into developing this transmission line and establishing more power plants. In the absence of power plants, there are these many companies which are existing over here, and the largest GDP in Africa actually is working on generators and miniature power plants which are set up, captive power plants which have been set up. So this also provides a huge opportunity in terms of providing supplementary sources on power generators for their economic activities, including diesel operated and solar operated generating sets. There are various Indian companies which are working over here, but the scope is enormous. It also has huge demand for electrical equipments, including wires, power generating machines, inverters, transformers, conductors, meters, switch gears, and so on and so forth. The list goes on. The opportunities in the power sector exist in expansion of the infrastructure for production, installation of grids, transmission and distribution networks, metering, billing, collection, etc., smart meters, etc. The other area where we can concentrate is also on defense supplies. India has now a growing defense sector. Tamil Nadu has been declared as one of the 2 defense corridors in India. And using that, it would be possible, although there are no existential threats, external threats for Nigeria. Nigeria procures arms for addressing its internal and other internal security requirements. Defense products, manufacturers and suppliers can explore the Nigerian market, and I can assure you that the High Commission of India would be there to support you at every step. Railways. The railway linkages within the country is quite weak, and huge opportunities. I keep getting enquiries from various governors of the states over here who asked for our companies to come and establish railway network over there. RITES and IRCON have already been put in touch with various people. There are various other vendors in railway equipment, stock and everything. So it would be possible for us to explore this particular thing. Oil and gas sector. I told you that India is the largest, Nigeria is the largest trading partner for India in Africa, and so are we to them around the world. We have about $14.95 billion worth of trade between our two countries, out of which about $10 billion is the oil import that we do from Nigeria. So the government of Nigeria is now opening up, and there are various opportunities in the oil sector also, both in exploration, production, and export, as well as they want to go in for LPG setup, the city-wide LPG network, as well as cylinders that are to be procured. We have huge capacity that we have developed over the past about 20, 30 years, and that would come in very handy for us to help them in the downstream petrochemical units also. There are also futuristic fields like fintech, artificial intelligence, in vaccine manufacturing in the health sector. Serum Institute is already tying up with one of the major areas. Bharat Biotech's rotavirus is part of the National Health Immunization Program. So these opportunities are there, and the government of Nigeria is more than willing to extend its assistance in setting up of such factories over here, and including trade also. Engineering goods, we have nearly 74% of the market share in respect of two-wheelers over here. TVS from Tamil Nadu and Bajaj from India, both of them have 74%. And the transportation sector has got a huge opportunity. Ashok Leyland has set up a manufacturing assembly plant over here in Kaduna. And recently the president had inaugurated about 700 such trucks. And there's a huge demand in respect of these automobiles, engineering products, printing machines, other engineering goods, visual equipments, household items, ICT products. These are all some of the areas where we can do. And I had also mentioned about ICT. ICT is something where Nigerian youth are very good in communication technology, although they are a little notorious in terms of various scams, but the opportunity exists in respect of people who are available over here, technically trained, and AppTech has got its educational institution over here. We can consider starting other places. Anambra and various other states over here have approached the High Commission seeking assistance in setting these things up. These are some of the areas. Of course, the opportunities exist in terms of other traditional areas of manufacturing and trade also. But I would presently stop over here and look forward to hearing from you, or if there are any questions. I can assure you one thing, that India and Nigeria are natural partners, and they would like to increase their trade and economic cooperation highly. This does not mean that there are no challenges over here. There are some foreign exchange problems, and there are some insecurity problems in some part of this country. But the very fact that there are 130 Indian companies who have been working profitably and successfully for the past about 4 decades gives us the confidence that there can be more that we can do. I look forward to listening to you and the panelists. And thank you for this opportunity. Namaskar. Nandri.